Imagine waking up to find thousands of songs on Spotify with voices and beats that sound eerily like yours, but you never recorded them, and worse, they're making money that you'll never see. This isn't sci-fi, it's happening right now. And the masterminds behind it? Not just shady AI startups, but the same mega labels that claim that they're protecting artists. Today we're pulling back on the curtain on how the big three, Universal, Sony, and Warner, are using artificial intelligence to change the game, control the market, and in some cases, cheat the very artists that they depend on. Let's go.
Major record labels are suing AI companies claiming copyright infringement. The Recording Industry Association of America claims AI music companies Suno and Udio trained their programs using famous artists' songs without permission. The programs can even generate fake songs mimicking famous artists' voices, like this one created to sound like Jason Derulo.
In June 2024, Universal, Sony, and Warner dropped a legal bomb on the AI startups Suno and Udio. Their claim was these companies were training AI models using copyrighted music. Every style, every voice, every drum hit without permission.
The AI. The heart of this lawsuit, though, comes down to the issue of fair use. And the record labels and the tech companies are both using the terminology of fair use to try to win their case. In particular, excuse me, Diane, while I look at my phone, I took some notes here.
Go for it.
Okay, in particular, the CEO of Suno, he says, quote, "Our technology is transformative. It is designed to generate completely new outputs." That's a key word, transformative, because in order to be able to say we created this output in these songs based upon fair use, it has to be a transformative work. And what legislation means by transformative is it has to be used differently than the original intent of it. And so this is what these music AI companies are standing on, which is it's a new transformative work, not the original work.
Ooh, this sounds like it's going to be a tricky legal one.
On the surface, it sounds like the labels are heroes here, protecting creative rights. But here's the little twist. While the lawsuits grab headlines behind closed doors, the same labels are in talks to license their catalogs to AI companies. Why? Control. They're positioning themselves as the gatekeepers for AI-generated music, so they can get paid whenever a human or a machine makes the track. That's it. Plain and simple.
Music companies represent some of the world's most popular musicians, including Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars, and Ed Sheeran. The reports say that the negotiations center on protections for the artists for the way that their content is used and creating new revenue streams to boot. Each label is negotiating with the AI startups individually, but I don't understand if the label does it, does that mean that Taylor Swift necessarily goes along with it, that Bruno Mars necessarily goes along with it? Maybe it's laying the groundwork to see if they would sign up for each of those deals.
I saw the story. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2025. Reports leak that the big three are negotiating licensing deals with Suno and Udio. These deals would allow AI to train on their catalogs in exchange for payouts, equity stakes, and maybe some few artist protections. But here's the catch. Those protections often mean labels decide if you can opt out, not you. And the payout structures? It's a black box. Artists might get a cut, or they might not even know if their voices or style was used in AI training. In other words, the same playbook labels has been running for decades with royalties, now supercharged by the AI. It's not just training the AI. AI music is flooding platforms like Spotify, Deezer, and Apple Music. Bots are uploading thousands of generic tracks under fake artist names, and sometimes even mimicking famous voices, just to soak up the streams. Here's where it gets ugly. Most tracks on platforms means that royalty pools get divided into smaller and smaller pieces. Indie artists who already are earning pennies see those pennies cut in half. Platforms like Deezer have started targeting AI songs and blocking payouts for suspect fraud, but detection systems aren't perfect. Real artists are getting flagged, demonetized, shadow banned, while AI keeps flowing. Crazy.
This is what a streaming farm looks like, aka the black market of the music industry. It's how some musicians and labels distort reality to push their tracks to the top of the charts and earn more money. Streaming farms use bots to artificially play music on platforms like Spotify or Apple Music to drastically inflate the numbers of streams a song gets. In March, a man in Denmark was sentenced to 18 months in prison for getting music streaming services to pay him $290,000 in royalties for fake streams. But that rare case is just a glimpse into the scale of this fraud. In a 2019 Rolling Stone article, Hopeless Records founder Louis Posen claimed this illegal practice potentially steals $300 million a year from artists with legitimate streams from real fans.
If all this sounds familiar, it should. Labels have been accused of shady royalty accounting, hidden contract clauses, and creative accounting tricks for decades. The only difference now is that AI lets them scale those tactics globally, instantly, and invincibly. No tour schedules, no recording sessions, just endless content, infinite profit potential, and minimal human involvement. Crazy.
A 2023 analyst report from the Financial Times found that up to 10% of all music streams globally are fake. This matters because there's a pool of money that streaming platforms distribute to the rights holders of songs. So when an artist is faking those streams, they're taking money out of that pool that could go to artists with legitimate streams. The creation of streaming farms follows the decline of radio and the rise of its replacement, streaming platforms. Major artists and labels historically paid radio DJs to play their music, but streaming platforms like Spotify are democratizing music, allowing independent artists a platform. But that means larger artists and labels are struggling to stay on top of the charts, so they compete by buying streams. Streaming services like Spotify have recently tried to crack down on this by looking specifically for erratic behavior, like a sudden jump in streams or a song on repeat for hours. A Spotify spokesperson said that when they detect artificial streams, they withhold royalties and tell the label or distributor. They can also choose to remove tracks from the platform and fine labels and distributors. But some musicians say they're being targeted by bots and then unfairly punished as a result. Marketing agencies hired by the artists might be responsible though, going behind the backs of the artists to fulfill their promises. Apple Music has similarly been penalizing streaming fraud too since 2022. But somehow people are continuing to steal from the royalty pool, which is already too small and meant for artists with real fans. And with advancements in AI, who knows what the scale of this issue could actually be now and in the future.
So here's the question. Will AI be the death of the artist or just the next tool in your creative arsenal? Right now, the big three seem focused on control than creativity, but that doesn't mean the artist is powerless. Stay informed, protect your rights, and most importantly, keep creating. Because no matter how advanced the tech gets, there's one thing AI can't fake. That's you. Alright? And again, thank y'all guys, man. I'm just trying to try these new videos, do this little new format, be more helpful to the community. Again, we got a Discord. If you need beats, mixing or mastering, holla at your boy. Again, we here and we doing this. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Deuces.